Hello, I'm Lou Collins, and this month I'm really excited to introduce you to box number 34 of Papercraft Society. The reason I'm really excited is because I designed the elements inside this box. So along with my brand textures, you have got elements of parchment, of stitching, embroidery with gorgeous threads in here. You've got dies, stamps, lots you can be playing with, all with a pretty butterfly feel to it. So let's delve into the box in just a few moments, but first I'd like to show you some of the cards that myself and the wonderful design team have put together for you. Now all the cards that you're going to see here are inside the project booklet. So there's a 36-page project booklet. You've got lots of photos, step-by-steps and instruction in there. So if you prefer not to see that at this stage and you want to be surprised by the projects when you receive your box home, then maybe just skip forward the next minute or two while we look through these. Now I've divided these beautiful cards into 3 piles depending on the techniques that are used. So I mentioned first of all embroidery threads. I just think anything hand stitching on a card looks absolutely stunning, and that's what's being created here. So you're going to be able to get the dies, you'll see all of these in a moment, but the dies that create shapes with the holes already in, the pierced holes ready for your embroidery. You've got your embroidery threads included as well. You've got beautiful stamps that coordinated and papers as well. So everything you need. How stunning is this card? Absolutely beautiful. Then we have this one. Now this one doesn't have any parchment on it, but around the edge, look at that stitching. Isn't that just stunning? Now again, you're going to get the dies to add these stitched holes, so you haven't got to worry about piercing them yourself. And what about maybe if you just only got a little bit of time for a little bit of stitching, or like me, maybe a little bit of patience, you could create a card like this. I think these dainty little features are just absolutely stunning, and they really do take no time at all, again with those dies doing all the hard work for you. Another super quick card here, and we've got the stitched border there in a card where the back is slightly longer than the front. We've got some detail here cut into the front of the card, and then just an embroidered butterfly trail there. You can see how you've got sentiments like birthday wishes and butterfly kisses. And then there's this card here. So this one incorporates both parchment and the embroidery as well, mixing the two together absolutely perfectly. You've got that border. You don't have to stitch every hole. This one has only been stitched alternately. You've got another stitched butterfly trail here, and then you've got the parchment with those embossing features in there. So we'll have a look at what the tools are doing for you when we go through the box. So that's with stitching on the card. What if you don't want to do the stitching? Maybe you don't have the time, the patience, maybe stitching's just not your thing. Well, I think there's still going to be elements in this box for you. I mean, look at this stunning card, using the parchment that's included in the box to cut out that absolutely gorgeous butterfly, to cut out the florals as well. We've got beautiful papers and colourways in this box too. And that word fly high you may have seen a few times already in the cards we've looked at, because that's included too. And then I really love this card also. Those flowers look absolutely beautiful with the pierced holes, but without the stitching. I think they look equally as nice as they would if you'd have stitched into them, and they make really super quick florals if you want to do that. These ones have had the petals pinched just to give them a little bit of shape. And in the background, you can see there's those swirls that have been die cut into the background. These are actually that butterfly swirl, or a couple of them, and you can use those dies as they are, again, without stitching. So if you do love your parchment craft, there's a little bit of everything for you. You've already seen this butterfly here. It's got the embossed detail on it as well. That's all included in the die. In the background here, you can see we've got embossed butterflies, and we've got the parchment cut with that die that allows you to do the stitching. So you've got stitched parchment there too. We've got stencils in here. These are going to help you with your parchment craft, and there is a tool as well. We'll go through everything in just a moment. You can see here lots of parchment used on this card, and again on this one as well. Look how bright that white is when you use the stencil. And then you've got the die cut parchment as well with the stitching included. You really can mix and match all these different techniques. So let's pop these aside and let's now take a look at the contents of the box. So we're looking at a craft box, this one. Crafting is all about enjoying the process as much as the end result. Now, this I held firm throughout designing everything in here because I wanted you to enjoy that process with the parchment, with the embroidery and some other techniques you may discover along the way too. Because they are techniques that are going to take you a little bit longer in practice, but do you know what, you're really hopefully going to enjoy doing these and then love the end result too. So let's look at the wallet first of all. So you can see on the edge we've got Papercraft Society box number 34 with textures. There's elements under here that we'll look at in just a moment, but let's put that box to the side and open the wallet here. So now, whenever you are sharing your makes on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever it may be, please do remember to use the hashtag Papercraft Society so we can see your makes and everyone else can be inspired by them too. Let's start first of all with those dies because I've talked about them a lot throughout those cards. So we have got that butterfly. Now, as you can see here, you've also got the holes there for stitching. Now, some of these dies will cut the holes for you. So these florals will cut those out for you. You've got a 5-petal flower, you've got individual petals or leaves. You've got elements here that can be added to create a leaf shape directly into your card as well. And you've got all of these butterfly trails. You've got another 5-petal flower up here, but a slightly different shape and it's larger. And with these, you're also getting the solid shape. The idea is that you can either cut the holes directly into your card base and embroider yourself a flower into your card base or panel of cardstock, or you can cut the outline out as well and have an individual flower that you then place on the card when you've finished with it. You've got extra butterflies there, extra centres for your flowers too. Butterfly silhouettes, so we saw that on one of the cards where I've just added in a little trail embroidered behind. You've got the body for the butterfly too. The word fly high, which we've seen on many of the cards, and then that border that you can repeat time and time again around a card as just a border if you want to. You could do a whole background if you really wanted with this, and then you could cross stitch, you could do alternating stitches. It really is up to you what you go and do with those holes, or you can just leave them as pierced holes into your cardstock. So they are the dies, really clever piercing embroidery dies. And then we've got the stencils. So the stencils are going to work absolutely perfectly with some of the other tools that we've got in here and with your parchment. Speaking of which, you've got all of this parchment here. Let's just open this up because it is a really good quality parchment as well. So you're not going to get it too thin so that you end up breaking it. So that can be die cut with your elements, but you can also emboss with your tools, with the stencils and work through those. So you've got a lot of sheets of parchment there. And then let's move on next to the stamps that you can see in the next part of the wallet. So the stamps here, we have got elements that hint towards lace. Parchment is obviously associated with lace a lot because of the techniques you can do with it. So we've got beautiful bordered stamps here. We've got leaf designs, we've got more swirls, we've got smaller lace elements if you want to just add that to the bottom of a tag, for example. And then we've got things like capture the moment, love, birthday wishes and butterfly kisses, celebrate being you. If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies, and butterflies can't see their wings. Absolutely, they don't know how beautiful they are, do they? So that's everything that's inside the wallet, but as always, there's even more in the rest of the box. So let's take a look in here. Underneath the tissue paper, we've got a pale blue this month. I always use the tissue paper for other things. Let's see, we have got, look at all of those embroidery threads. The pastel colours, absolutely perfect for spring and summer coming up. We've got the blue, we've got the ivory, or it's almost a peachy colour. We've got the lilac, we've got a gorgeous soft pink there. We've got a grass green and like a lime green as well. These together, you can mix and match any combination of these to create different cards. We have got to go with this. Of course, we've got that tool that just makes threading your needle extra easy. You just see that. Let's put those to the side. Of course, we have got the embossing tool. Now, the embossing tool is going to work with your stencils. You can also use it through your butterfly die as well. It has a really nice easy grip rubber handle and it's heavy, it's metal throughout. You've got the large ball tool on one end and the small ball tool on the other. Now don't worry if you've never played with parchment, never put embroidery on cards, because inside the project booklet you will get everything you need. Now let's just open up these extra pieces. So we've got little envelopes here. Inside here are some brads. Now these are white in colour, so they're going to work with any of the projects that you use, and these brads are perfect for attaching your parchment to your project, because it's all very well working with vellum or parchment, but how do you attach it? Because very often the adhesive will show through. Now the embroidered stitching will help you there. It will help you just to attach things if you want to stitch through both your card base and your parchment that you're working on, but the brads are there if you don't want to do it that way, so that's another way of attaching. We also have in here your embroidered needle or embroidery needle there, so that's all kept in an envelope for you so it's safe. Then in here we have another tool. Now this is very similar to the large ball tool, but this one is a small one. I love the design on this. Look at that gorgeous design in the handle. So this one is a much smaller element, so these are going to embroider perfectly through your dies. So for example, if I show you this butterfly, you can see the parchment edge around there, just the little dots. That's been done using the smaller ball tool through the die, the guideline on the die. Then we've got in here the pencil. So this is a white pencil crayon. You just need to sharpen it there. It's a wooden crayon, and this is perfect for adding shading to your parchment craft as well. So lots in here. Then we've also got the cardstock. So the cardstock is going to match perfectly. Have you noticed it's not plain either? It's an ombre effect. So ombre effect cardstock to match with your embroidery thread. So you've got that blue, dark to light. You've got the lilac, again, dark to light. 2 sheets of each, and they're double-sided. You've got the pink as well. And then you've got this beautiful mint green. So again, 2 of those. And then we're giving you some white too, because who doesn't need white cardstock? Lastly, just in the bottom here, it's not last actually, I lie, it's not last, I forgot about this piece. This is a piece of foam that is going to help you when you're doing your parchment craft. So you'll lean on this to emboss into your parchment to help give you that flexibility that you need to stretch the parchment and give you that beautiful white effect. And then lastly, we do have the project booklet. So inside here you have a lot of projects that you're going to be able to use. So there's all your contents of the box. When you get it home, you can just double check that everything's in there and you know what everything does. Then we're straight into projects, and we're going through these with photo steps, with written steps, with top tips as well. There's a little interview with myself there as well. You've got parchment craft in here. Nikki Gilbert has done some beautiful parchment. She's used the white pencil as well, just to show you how to use all the tools in the box. As you work through, more photo. Do you know what? There's so much inspiration in here. Pauline has done this beautiful card that I showed you right at the beginning. The lovely Pauline Hickey, very talented, and has made this beautiful card and then shown you how to create it. There's lots more in here. There's that gorgeous card that I showed you as well. There's lots more inspiration, projects to get to grips with. I hope you're absolutely going to love using all the contents that are in this box. So that is everything that's inside your Papercraft Society box number 34. If you are a subscriber, this is going to be coming out to you very soon, and it's going to be free delivery in the UK. If you're not already a subscriber and you love this and some previous Papercraft Society boxes, all designed by different people, all with different elements in them every month, you can go and have a look at the details on www.papercraftsociety.co.uk.